Welcome back to JOJ. It is September 15th. We hope hopefully it's cooling off where you are, for sure. And it's just a couple of days away from this guy's birthday.
About to be 40.
You're not going to be 40. He's going to be 39. You need to celebrate your last year in your 30s.
We should just both go ahead and round up.
No, he's just being a poop because it's my next birthday. I will be 40, whatever. Really? That's how we're going to start the episode?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to go cry in a hole somewhere.
All right.
Okay.
So the title for today is Opinions and Obedience. And I always say opinions, but should it be opinions and obedience? Either way. Opinions and obedience.
I say opinions.
Yeah.
I think it's just an accent.
Okay. By faith Noah, in reverence, prepared an ark and became an heir of righteousness, which is according to faith. And that comes from Hebrews 11, verse 7. When we read about Noah in Genesis 6 through 8, we see a clear picture of obedience. When God called him to build the ark, a task that seemed both impossible and illogical, Noah obeyed the Lord despite what other people thought of him. Often we may think that when we obey God, everyone will support us and cheer us on, especially other believers. However, that's not always the case. When you choose the path of obedience, others may react negatively. People may criticize you because they simply don't understand what the Lord is doing through you. They may also be angry you're doing things His way and serving His agenda instead of theirs. So it won't always be popular for you to obey God. But remember that His thoughts and ways are higher than ours, and He is always right. That comes from Isaiah 55, verses 8 and 9. Therefore, when the Lord tells you to do something, don't focus on the circumstances or other people. If Noah had listened to his critics, he would have been swept away with everyone else. Instead, he chose to submit to the Lord and was saved. Trusting God is always the wisest course of action. Jesus, yours is truly the only opinion that matters. I will obey you. Amen. Alright, so Noah, when God called him, he seemed to his task was both impossible and illogical.
I would agree. If you were living in that time, I mean.
If you're living out in the desert, it's like the song of, build a boat in a desert place.
Yeah.
That seems, the impossible part seems a little, it actually seems more possible than the illogical part. Like the thought of it is what really seems completely.
I feel like if there was somebody building, I don't know, we do have rain and floods, but like something crazy like that in our times, I feel like people would be like,
what are you doing?
They're crazy.
To your point, we have rain and floods, and we would think it was crazy if somebody built a boat.
Yes, I mean, yes, in general. I mean,
they've never seen rain.
I can't even imagine what poor Noah and his family, like, I think of, in our times, like, if you're out there doing something crazy, I'm going to take the heat for it because I'm like, what's your husband doing?
Right.
Like, I can't imagine what his whole family, like, okay, he's building an ark over there.
Yeah. But,
sure.
But, I mean, they were all, they were...
Sorry.
Jennie's cricking her neck still here.
Yeah.
But they were all following in faith, and I all had to be following in obedience in that, and that's that. Not only was it obviously Noah was the leader of his family, he was the head of the household, and everybody, he was the head of the family, so everybody was doing should have been, I assume, that they were doing how he was leading, but that was
I feel like our kids would rebel.
Yeah, I know they would. So apparently I need to be a better Noah.
That's your goal, is to be a better Noah.
Yeah, to be a better Noah.
But yeah, and I'm trying to think of like if there was anything like in our time of either seeing something kind of what we would think was crazy, or like if we've ever been called to do anything that we were like, I mean, obviously this, but for me, but I mean, just in general, like.
I mean, I think even when I first started doing any kind of speaking event, speaking and stuff like that, I felt very unequipped.
Yeah.
Very unprepared. I didn't. I mean, to give a fishing seminar, sure, that was no big deal.
We could ramble on about that for hours and hours and some more hours.
But at first, to try to help tell other people about Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, I've never been to seminary school.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't.
Still not sure we're equipped.
Yeah, but I mean that's see that quote in places. God doesn't call the equipped; He equips the called. You know, I think that is extremely true. So
yeah, I was gonna say, because I feel like there's times that we're like, I have no idea how this helps somebody, but you know, we're always reassured God uses people to be like, no, like this particular episode, or you know, when you talked about this or shared this, like so yeah, we know He is equipping us for exactly what we need, or for who needs to hear it.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
No, it's for what needs to be said and for who needs to hear it, and that's that way in everybody's life, you know. So make sure that you know that when you get those opportunities that you're following in faith, and if it's saying something to somebody, if it's sharing, you know, sharing a verse with them, if it's praying with them, you know, taking that time, and that's, don't think that you're gonna, that you know you have to have went to seminary school or anything like that, or you know, to know exactly what to say to somebody. Just listen to them, you know, be compassionate and let the Lord lead you.
I think a lot of times a simple hug and a prayer speaks volumes. You know,
absolutely.
A lot of times. So.
Absolutely, just that time, being willing to, you know, to give your time. So going to close with that again. That I don't know who said the quote or where it came from. So. And I know it wasn't me, but God doesn't
stop looking at me.
God doesn't call the equipped; He equips the called, and I think that is very true in this situation. So, thank y'all for watching. We'll see you next week.